Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be scouting a couple of different properties that I've been eyeing and that someone has told me about. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Cindy Lumpkin, the LD Educator, and I am a special education teacher who happened to have started her own school. And if you guys caught my last vlog, you know that I am currently in the midst of transitioning my school way across town. During COVID, we actually moved to a different county, and now it's really just not viable for me to keep the school in the same place. So we made a lot of strategic moves at the end of last school year in which I transitioned a lot of my kids back to public schools and or other private schools. However, I had 3 parents who just would not let me go, and I'm so thankful for them. I'm thankful to them. It makes me feel good that I have served them so well that they are willing to kind of wait around in this transitioning period. My enrollment is drastically low, but that's on purpose. And so prayerfully, we can find a home closer to the side of town that I'm living in. And prayerfully, if my parents want their children to continue, that it will be enough of them that we can make some arrangements for them to get to the same side of town. But anyway, I'm actually headed back to my own children's school / daycare because I left the baby's diaper bag at home, and it has his sippy cup and his milk. So before I stop, I'm gonna go back there, and I have to get my cup of joe, especially since I'm already stressed because I've lost precious moments. I do want to share with you guys, though, my day from yesterday. And really, I wish I would have had the presence of mind to vlog that for you guys as much as I could. But I'm just going to tell you, and I'm going to try to use my words very carefully because I'm gonna just try to use my words very carefully. So anyway, a really good friend occasionally calls me when she has students that she really can't do anything with. And she happens to work, in high school. And a lot of times or in years past, I would say, I have served several of her kiddos. And generally when she calls, it's because they are getting ready to get put out of school, which is really sad. These kids happen to have IEPs. They're 18 years old, still in the 9th grade, definitely have horrible attendance issues and in and out of school. Last year, I don't even think she was in school. Then there's 2 others that are faithful coming to school, just don't come to class or as many of their classes. And so to make a long story short, if you guys don't know, this is kind of how public schools get over. Like when you look at their statistics, like you really can't believe them because there's always a story at how they arrive at stuff. Anyway, the reason why they are wanting to take them off a roll is because they are hurting their graduation rate, right? So if they could transition them to somewhere else that is, I guess, state approved, meaning, they transition into a homeschool program, another private school, hence me, or another school in general, then they are no longer attached to that school. So it's really deplorable. It's awful. And at first, I told her I really wasn't in the position to help her because of where we are. And so I gave her some other resources, and those things just did not pan out. So she circled back and said, hey, Lumpkin, look, if we don't have any other solutions for these kids, then the only other alternative or what they're going to do is basically say that these kids are homeschooled. And these kids do not come from homes where they're going to be homeschooled, okay? So anyway, I feel grateful that I may be able to provide some support if those families want it. But it just reminds me why my school is open in the first place. And don't get me wrong, at 18 years old, despite what happened in your past, we know that the past impacts your present and it can impact your future. They have a role to play in this, because at some point, you matured enough to know. I hope you guys hear the frustration in my voice, because it's just all around sad. Anyway, so one particular event, one parent who was on the phone, she didn't attend the meeting. She went into this really heartfelt moment when, she said, listen, I've dealt with this. I dealt with him, but all his life. He has ADHD. He ain't gonna sit still. She said, I talked to him and talked to him and talked to him. And she said, it just has not sunk in. And she said, my son, I don't understand how we got here. My son is reading on the 2nd grade level and he's 18 years old. And, and then she was like, and I'm so confused right now, because she was like, you're telling me he's in the 9th grade. I thought he was in the 11th or 12th, she said. And apparently what happens is they move these kids up with, I guess, the group of kids they came in with. So even if they fail and they don't go to summer school or whatever, they at some point move them closer with their group just for homeroom sake. So even when they get a report card, even though all the grades could be failing or they may not have enough credits, that report card still will say 10th grade homeroom, so 11th grade homeroom. So apparently all through his career, she has been looking at the increase in the homeroom number and not really paying attention to the report card or the transcript. And so, a part of me, I am so empathetic, right? I already can't stand the school, but this is how they operate. All of them operate. Not to say we should be complacent. I wasn't. That's why I left, because I couldn't do, even though they weren't doing what they're supposed to do. But I don't know if I can hammer the nail in the coffin, because that's exactly what this school is doing by throwing these kids out to the wolves, right? And once again, my friend who works there, like me, was really her way of saying, I really don't want to be a part of it, but I don't have any say so, because this is what higher powers over her are going to do. But, I explained to the parent that, I could empathize. And I said that would be extremely confusing to see that he is in the 11th grade homeroom or 12th grade homeroom, but now to be called back, 3 years? I don't know, 2 years, how long he been in high school? But to see now that, or to be told now that he is in the 9th grade, and that really there is no path to graduation at his school. And really, they were just telling her, and they did say, your son got to go, but that was the writing on the wall. And I know that this happens all the time. Once again, why? Because I was in the school system and I was also in administration, and I just didn't feel comfortable having to make those decisions when I was told to make those decisions, because I just don't feel that is right. So anyway, just statistically, it don't look good. Anyway, I don't know if you guys feel what I'm saying. First of all, I hope I wasn't rambling. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. And I don't know if y'all can offer me any insight, because it's not just that happens. It's happening to kids who have disabilities, because that's my wheelhouse. And I know that these kids have every ability. Like the kids that I generally work with are kids who have average and above average intellectual ability, so that they can learn. They just need the right method, the right environment, and time. And if you can work all of those things out and they're still with you, they haven't given up on themselves, then amazing things can happen. I am going to go ahead on and make my stops, and then we're going to look at, I think, maybe about 2 different properties today. All right, so we are here. I was told about this particular place by the director of my children's daycare. She actually said that a school was here already. It looks kind of promising as far as I don't think that they will actually try to gouge my pockets. I do have to set up a meeting. When I initially come out to look at a place, I just kind of want to come out and just see it. I like to track the distance from my children's school to the place, because that makes a difference, as well as from my home to the place. And in either direction, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes. Probably a little closer from my house directly here, but I tracked from the daycare, because I had to go back and get the cup, to here, and it was about 15 minutes, and traffic may have been a little light. Just kind of eyeballing the place right now. It looks huge. I mean, it's weirdly shaped, but I definitely think it is bigger than what it looks like from this vantage point, and which she did say that as well. I do believe part of it is 2-story. My only thing, the last school that I was at had like a gym. So I'm not sure this place has that, which is not a deal breaker, but it would be much better. I'm not sure. I have to still do a little just kind of market research, because when I was coming here, I did pass some new construction homes that were in the 300,000s. So that's a pretty penny. I definitely want families from that price point, but I also do not want to, they're not my complete bullseye target. I would love for them to, but if you have enough money to have buy a $300,000 house, you probably have more discretionary money to go to some of the more, I don't want to say stable, some of the schools that specialize in learning differences that have been around longer. So I always try to keep those in mind to make sure that my target market will be able to access. Now, the prior school or the location that we were at prior was on the bus line. And so a lot of my kiddos, if they were old enough, rode the bus. I still did have a lot of parents who actually dropped their kids off, but public transportation was definitely an option. I do not believe that will be the option here. I don't see any bus stops anywhere. Luckily, it's off of a main road, so that is pretty good. So I think I'm going to go to the next place or two. This church is right down the street from where I live, which means it is about 20 minutes away from my children's school. One reason I am considering this, not because it's so close to my home, but more so, I actually met the pastor. We did not have a discussion whatsoever surrounding me needing a home, but I met him through a mutual friend, just hey, bye. But that friend also told me that their membership is declining. And so this might make for the perfect partnership if they need help or could use the extra discretionary income, and we can make it workable for both of us. It does not have a gymnasium. However, I kind of see just from the outside looking in, because I haven't been in it yet, it has like sections on either side of it, and the property is big. They actually have 2 buildings, and on the main building they have 2 separate sides, which would be so cool if I could just totally have my own section of the building, right? And then they also have a playground back there that I saw, and then on another side I saw like a basketball where my kids could still go out and shoot some hoops or whatever they need to do in order to let out steam. So this is good. I'm not as excited about this because I still don't know if it's really my target area. So, but we'll see. I think I might go ahead on and go one more place today. And then there's a couple of places over in another town, same county, but different town, which is not far from here whatsoever. But let's go ahead on and go to the last place. Here's the last place, guys. And as you can see, it is huge. It's huge. I do not know for sure whether or not there is a gym inside of it, but it's huge. Property, once again, there's green space. Let's see, a couple of different playgrounds. So I actually met this pastor as well. The pastoral world around here is kind of small. But yeah, this is an option too. So I think I am going to stop this here, and I'm going to go back home and go ahead on and schedule appointments. That is all for now. Stay tuned for my next one. Bye.